else out here, whether you are a caregiver, whether you are a nurse, part of the medical field, who else among you watching this video has experienced a similar situation, has experienced, where, either your loved ones were, dying, and then you felt you wanted to feed them, but then they weren't able to eat, and then you felt bad about it? Or who's watching the video, you are a caregiver, you are a nursing staff. Okay, you are a nursing staff, and you witness the patient no longer wants to eat, but the family is adamant about feeding the patient, and how did you handle that situation? What did you say to the family? Okay, talk to me, my beautiful people. Talk to me. I want to hear from you guys. Okay, I want to hear from you. Let's start this relationship. All right, let's have a relationship where we talk to each other, because I want to know. Okay, I want you to know that this channel is a supportive channel. All right, this channel, it's a blessing to me. Okay, because every single time I'm out there with the family, with the patients, I know without a doubt I am doing God's work. I am doing God's work. I have so many topics, so many ideas, so many stories that I want to share with you guys. All right. So please subscribe, follow. All right. We are going to be okay. We are blessed. We are God's people. Good morning, good afternoon, my hospice family, wherever you are in the world. I want to say a big hi to everybody. I hope everybody's having a blessed day. All right. Welcome back to Dunshospice. My name is Dawn. Call me Nurse Dawn. Okay, just call me Nurse Dawn. That's fine. I am a hospice registered nurse. All right. I am here to serve you. I'm also an author. Yes, please check out my book. Okay, I have a hospice book that I wrote on Amazon. All right, check it out. The link is in the description bar. All right, please, as you watch the videos, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe to this channel, follow me. All right, give me a like, share the videos. Okay, don't be afraid to share the videos to any caregivers you think might benefit. Also, I am on Instagram. I'm also on Instagram. If you are on Instagrams, please check me out. All right, under Dunshospice also. All right, that being said, let's talk about hospice and food. It's gonna be a good one. Hospice and eating. Okay, all right, my beautiful people. The topic of eating, the topic of food while under hospice care can be kind of tricky, you see. Based on the family, okay, based on culture, and also based on medicine and experience. Okay, so there are different factors that goes into play when we are talking about eating and food, and somebody who is deemed terminally ill, okay, who is deemed who has a 6 months or less prognosis, who has a terminal illness, and who's bedbound, and who's under hospice. What I want to say is that, okay, so first I'm going to I want to share my experiences, okay, of being a hospice nurse of over 10 years. And also, I'm going to just kind of touch upon this subject, different perspectives, all right? Now, let's start with culture, okay? Let's start with culture. Culturally, in our society, it is a loving gesture, okay? It's a loving gesture when we are feeding people, okay? Meaning, when somebody come into our home, what do? We offer them something to eat, right? When we are happy, we go out to eat, to celebrate. When we're sad, we stay home and we eat. Eating is just a natural, it's a big part of our culture, right? And so when we can no longer eat, when the family is trying to feed the patient and the patient is no longer eating, that is difficult for the family to understand. That's difficult for the family to to accept, okay? Because eating is it's a natural part of our culture. All right. Now that's where hospice nurses such as myself comes in to educate the family and to kind of put their mindset at ease. Because my beautiful people, okay, listen to me very carefully, my caregivers. When we are dying, okay, when the body is dying, it no longer requires food. It no longer requires nutrients. Okay? It's doing the opposite. Normally, my hospice family, our body use food as fuel. Okay? So think of it as a car. When the car, needs gas, we put gas in the car, and then the car runs. Okay, now when we are at end of life, when we're under hospice care, when we are dying, the body no longer requires food to survive. Okay, the body does not want food because it's not using it up. There's no energy that it needs to run off of, because now the body is doing opposite. It is slowly shutting down. You see? And even if we were, because there are some extreme, situations where the family is adamant about the patient eating, they might, go to the hospital, take them to the hospital, and the doctor, based on the kind of doctors, they might put a feeding tube inside of the patient. Okay, so meaning an artificial tube where the food gets inserted straight to your stomach, and that's another operation, and it's not comfortable. There's so many complications when it comes to feeding tubes and at end of life. So even if the patient were to be on a feeding tube, understand this, okay? The tissues, the organs, the nutrients, okay, are not being fully, transported to the organs, to the body, because the highway, there's a blockage in the highway. There's a transportation, there's a blockage in the transport system, okay, in our body. Are we following, my beautiful people? Are we following? Because I'm trying to keep it simple, okay? So usually when we eat, okay, our organs, like our kidney, our liver, our stomach, everything is pumping, our blood, like everything is working. Our pancreas, everything is working to kind of get the tissue to the right part so that our body can be in action. Whereas when we are at end of life, when we are dying, okay, the body is basically shutting down. Everything is shutting down. It's going out of business. Our kidney, we are not producing urine like we used to. Our bowels, we are constipated, okay? So everything is just shutting down. And so by us, our lungs, okay, it's pooling, the food is staying right there. And as a result, we get aspiration pneumonia. And that is where the food is pooling. The food just stays on our loved one's chest, okay? It's not being swallowed properly. It's not being digested properly. It's basically staying in our lungs, okay? And as a result of the bacteria and things like that, it impacts our lungs, resulted in aspiration pneumonia, okay? That's another very, very bad effect of forcing somebody to eat at end of life. And not to mention choking also, because at end of life, our loved ones will be lethargic. They'll probably be sleeping, while you're trying to feed them. So I'm saying all this to say that it is emotional. It's very emotional for the caregivers. It's very emotional for the family to watch their loved ones not eating. But I want you to understand, okay? This is a takeaway I want you to understand. Even though they are no longer eating or drinking, they are not starving. Okay? You are not starving them. Okay? You are not starving them. So please do not feel guilty. Okay? The reason why you're not starving them is because the body does not need the food. Okay? It's one thing, my husband's family, if somebody wants to eat, if somebody is asking you for food, if somebody is hungry, if somebody is active, if somebody is full of life, and yet they cannot have food, right? But it's another thing when somebody is bedbound, unresponsive, laying down, eyes shut, cannot talk. There's very minimal signs of life. And yet we have a spoon in our mouth saying, open up, open up, open up. No. And that's where the hospice staff, the nurse, the social worker, the hospice aides, everybody will come in and lend you support and be supportive, okay? Do teaching, education. Be there, listen to you, okay? And just kind of walk you through the whole thing. So I'll see you in the next video. Share. Let me know. I love you with the love of Jesus Christ. Take care.